As traditional agriculture comes under scrutiny due to its recounted adverse effects on environment, farmers are continuously looking for alternative and safer ways of growing crops while using less space. And that's the focus of our show today. Welcome to the program. My name is Elijah Mwangi. Remember, you can join the conversation online using the hashtag #FarmingToday. At this point, let's have our Food for Thought segment. Data from the Climate Knowledge Portal in Kenya states that the agricultural sector in the country contributes heavily to greenhouse gas emissions, summing up to a record high of 58.6% of total greenhouse gas emissions in Kenya. And that's not all. Conventional methods of food production and excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides are harming the soils and biodiversity, threatening the entire ecosystem. Why are farmers using these banned substances? When biological control methods or the biopesticides are presented, the question that begs is, are these biological control methods as effective as the methods that they are using? I think we need to shift the conversation from the problem finding to a solutions-based conversation. According to the World Bank, in most regions of the world, including Kenya, over 70% of fresh drinking water is used for agriculture, despite the majority of the country's population facing serious water shortages. Important to note is that hydroponics, as a food production system, uses 90% less water than conventional farming. But just how does it work? Let's get practical. Nestled within the urban sprawl of Nairobi lies Mukuru kwa Ruben, a vibrant and bustling informal settlement. Despite facing the challenges of limited space and resources, a remarkable transformation is underway as hydroponic farming takes root in the heart of this slum. In the midst of confined spaces and bustling activity, Mukuru kwa Ruben is witnessing a green revolution. The indigenous use of vertical space has given rise to a network of hydroponic systems where plants thrive without the need for traditional soil.
Urban food future.
Here, we meet two passionate youths who are cultivating a green revolution in this bustling informal settlement. In this space, a variety of crops are being grown to sustain the community around them.
Oh, here we grow nightshade. There are amaranthus, there are corad greens, there are sweet chard, and the kales. There are some kales here.
Millie reveals to us why she views hydroponic farming as a better and a more sustainable type of farming in this urban setting.
In hydroponics, you don't need large farms or large quantities of land to grow. You don't need soil, and there's about soil. Soil has many diseases that causes the dying of food and shortage of food. In hydroponics, you don't use so much fertilizers. You use limited water. The water is not wasted. Like in hydroponics, you can reuse the water which you use to feed the crops.
Mukuru kwa Ruben being a slum, the residents here face numerous challenges, especially in terms of food safety and hygiene on the food that they consume.
In the slums, there is no space even to farm. So you have to go beyond measures to find a way that you can produce your own food and it be clean food. When you rely on the food from the market in the slum, it's not very healthy. It's not very healthy comparing to the food you can grow yourself and the food they grow and the places they grow the food. Yeah.
Amidst these challenges, Millie reveals to us why hydroponics farming is thriving here.
It's empowering the youths. Youths, they are allowed to take in drugs, doing all sorts of things, but when you get an opportunity like this, youths don't have work. So when you get an opportunity of this, like you want to learn this, you are being trained for this, you are out of there. You are not idle, and idle minds corrupt good morals. So you are not idle. When you are here, you are busy. And the minute you come here, your mind is opened. So I can do this, and it's very easy. Most of the youths don't know about agriculture or even about trainings in a greenhouse, and they think it's expensive, takes a lot of time, but the moment they are out of there and comes here for the training, they can't realize, oh, it does not take much amount of time. Oh, I'm not getting tired. Oh, I don't need a lot of money to start such a setup. And oh, I can also earn my own money through farming. So it's very good. It's the best idea.
This hydroponics project in Mukuru slums is part of Urban Food Futures program, a transdisciplinary action research program conducted in cooperation with Think Tank for Sustainability, TMG, partners from academia and civil society. The program explores pathways to transform food systems and achieve the right to food for all.
As a family, as long as you have space, you can plant vegetables. And through that, there is no need of you having to go and buy your vegetables outside. You have your own vegetables. And then it requires less labor. It requires less labor. If you have your job as a family, or let's say as a head of a family or someone in the family, you have your job. You can just work on the hydroponics farm because it requires less labor, and you can come in the evening and check on your crops when after job.
Interesting to see young people, even in the informal urban settlements, embracing this kind of farming. And now let's even make it more interesting and more intriguing. Do you know that you can actually combine hydroponic system with aquaculture or fish farming? Now, this is what the experts term as aquaponics. And it's quite simple. Forget the technical term.
Francis Kabiru is among an emerging group of African entrepreneurs who are introducing new innovations like aquaponics to the age-old sector of farming. We meet Kabiru in Sagana, Kirinyaga County, where he installed an aquaponics system for Nderitu Muriuki. Well, aquaponics is a replica version of a natural ecosystem. It works the way Mother Nature normally works in every aquatic environment, and this is how.
So in aquaculture, you grow your fish. Then the fish waste that you'll be getting from the pond is what now you pump to the hydroponic system that now will be used as nutrients to the crop. Basically what happens is that fish will produce ammonia. This ammonia is now pumped now together with water to the hydroponic system where the ammonia is converted into urea. Urea becomes a source of nutrition for the crop, and now that way so you're getting nutrition for the crop, and you're also cleaning the water for the fish. And of course, as you're going through the cyclical movement of water, you're also aerating the water. That means the benefits to the fish, you're getting 100% the benefit to the plants as well, because you have aerated water, cleaned water for the fish, and then you have nutrition for the crop. The good thing with aquaponics, hydroponics, is that it can be set up anywhere. It is very good for urban farming. It can also be set up in rural setup, like you see where we are right now. Here, like you see, we are not even using fish tanks. We are using ponds in the rural setup. In the urban setup, we'll have to use fish tanks because we'll not have the space for ponds. So it's a system that can be set both in the urban areas and also in the rural setup. And of course, the financials, when you look at them, makes a lot of sense. If you look at the greenhouse up there that has a hydroponic system, it has 900 crops. 900 crops will be able to give you about one crop, or one vine will be able to give you 15 kgs per season or per crop cycle, which takes between 7 to 9 months. That translates to about 13.5 tons of capsicum, colored capsicum. If you do the math, market value 100 shillings per kg, that means that you'll be getting about 1.35 million Kenya shilling per season. Then of course you have the fish. The fish, you feed the fish using the normal commercial feed, but the advantage is that now the crop you'll not be buying any nutrition for, because all the nutrition is coming from the fish. So basically you'll be selling fish and the crop. Fish here, we have 3,000 tilapia, and on the other pond there, we have a population of 400 catfish. Well, if you do the math on tilapia only, 1 kg, which is equivalent to 1 fish, goes for about 250 bob. That means that still in the same season, you're able to make another 750,000. You are able to get maximum yield from the capsicum. You're also able to get maximum yield from the fish, because remember, you are cleaning the fish tank itself or the fish pond, which means that now the fish cannot go under toxicity. So they will be able to grow to their full genetic potential. And that is the main, and that is what we are looking for actually.
Nderitu's farm sits on less than an acre piece of land and focuses primarily on growing lettuce, capsicum and other few vegetables. One of the key advantages of aquaponics is that this type of farming does not necessarily rely on soil. In today's world, agriculture faces a series of new challenges every single season, including the need to produce more food with fewer natural resources. For Nderitu, the story is not any different, but he has been able to cope with every challenge that falls on his agricultural farm. Going by his farm produce, Nderitu is doing well, but you won't see him tilling the land under the blazing sun. Instead, he starts the day by feeding fish, but it's their waste he's after at this point, an essential element to this aquaponic farm.
Tunatumia maji ya samaki, tunapiga maji na tuko na pampu ya kupiga maji. Maji inakuja kwa tank, tuko na matanki 9 pale. Hiyo matanki tunajaza maji na hiyo maji inakuja kwa hii greenhouse. Na hiyo maji ujue iko na nutrient. Sasa hiyo maji ikishamaliza kazi, bado tunairudisha kwa pod, alafu tunapiga tena ndio irudi kwa greenhouse tena. Tulianza hii mradi kwa sababu beleni tulikuwa tunatumia hii mchanga, na hiyo mchanga ikakuwa na wadudu wengi sana. Hiyo mambo ya mchanga tukaachana naye. Ya pili, tulikuwa na uhaba wa maji. Tulikuwa tunatumia maji ya mradi. Sasa tukaamua kujenga greenhouse ndio tuanze kutumia hii mambo ya aquaponic. Afadhali kutumia hii mradi hata kazi yake ni rahisi. Unajua hakuna kupalilia, na maji ile tunatumia ni maji kidogo. Na mambo hata mambo ya dawa, unajua utapiga bii mara mbili kwa mwezi. Na unajua hawa watu wanatumia hii ingine ya nje, unaona mtu anapiga mara mbili kwa wiki. Sinaona hiyo ni hasara.
In this greenhouse, it crops galore as various vegetables are nurtured aquaponically till they reach market size in just 3 to 4 months. And as the global appetite for organic foods increases, Nderitu is already developing a long list of loyal clients, from individual consumers to grocery chains and restaurants.
Kwa hii pod tuko na samaki ngiri 3 na moja tunauza 400. Mara ya kwanza tuliuza Nairobi mahali kunaitwa Umoja 2, tuliuza 120 kg. Mara ya pili tukauza Murang'a mahali kunaitwa Nocras Hotel. Mara ya tatu tukauza Karatina Town. Mara ya 4 tukauza mahali kunaitwa Kagio, hiyo iko Kirinyaga. Sasa hii ni mara ya 5 ndio tunataka kufuna saa hii. Now, 2 things that are very important to understand in aquaponics. One is the nitrogen cycle, and number 2 is the role of beneficial bacteria in converting waste. And that's why we need an expert. So stay with us. After the break, we shall be engaging a hydroponics expert to explain this to us. Welcome back to the program. And just to have a recap, today we are looking at hydroponics, that is farming without using soil, and aquaponics, which is basically a combination of aquaculture or fish farming and hydroponics. Well, it may sound technical, but believe me, These are simple systems to run. And to break these down for us is Francis Kabiru, a hydroponics consultant at Miramar International College.
Hydroponics, hydro means water. Ponics means working with water. So basically where we are farming without soil. We're just using water and nutrient solution. And of course now we have to get a support media for the crops. That way we are able to supply nutrients to the crops, and you'll be able to monitor that crop to reach its full genetic potential. All you need a space like this where you have a grow tray. A grow tray, you can have a trough like where we are, or you can have an A structure like this. The trough system uses something that we call a drip system for irrigation. So what you do, you mix your nutrients with water, and because already you have a grow tray that you have already put your crop in, then you run the nutrient solution where the roots will just be absorbing the nutrients. And it's as simple as that, and the crop will grow. After that, it's just normal crop care like you just do in the open field, or it's just normal greenhouse farming. Some of these materials, I can start by like what we have, the drip lines here. Any irrigation company here in Nairobi you can get, okay? Then you have the troughs. The troughs, still irrigation companies, even flower companies, they use the same. Go to industry area, go to this big agri company, you get the troughs. Now that is for the trough system. Okay, then of course you have the media. The media is because at the end of the day we have said that you have to have a holding media where the roots will be supported. Now what we are using here is volcanic rock. Volcanic rock, you get it from any place with volcanic activity, especially like Longonot on your way to Naivasha. Then you have, on this other side, we have the A structure. The A structure, the grow trays that we are using here, these are waste pipes. Waste pipes, you can get them from any hardware. Here we use a technique that is called a nutrient film technique. In the grow tray, what we have is you have also a cup where you have your crop that you'll be inserting now in the pipe that will be running a film of nutrients, and the roots will just be absorbing the nutrients. The good thing with it, you're also getting locally available materials that you use to support the crop, because here you have a combination of pumice and cocoa peat. Cocoa peat is ground coconut husks, and we have them here in the coast. The uptake right now is very good. We have done a lot of work in terms of just making sure that the community knows that this technology is there. The community knows that it is a technology that can be used in urban setups. Right now, we're having even a lot of people with kitchen gardens using hydroponic systems where they are able to produce now their own food and in their own backyard in the kitchens, for the kitchen. We also are putting other systems in areas like the informal settlements in Mukuru, yeah, where now schools are able also to get they have now a school feeding program for the schools using hydroponics, because now they're able to produce enough food for the schools cheaply and innovatively. For a hydroponic system, it depends on what you want to do with it in terms of, is it commercial or is it subsistence? If it is commercial, it has to be a big unit. At least you can do an 8 by 30 meters greenhouse. If it is for subsistence, it can cost you as little as 50,000. For people who have just walls, or you have limited space in your backyard, you can use what we call a hydroponic wall. Because a hydroponic wall now is what you use to produce your coriander, your vegetables, yeah, just to use at home. But for commercial, you have now to have a big greenhouse like this. I think the main challenge that we have with hydroponics is basically the basic maintenance of the system. Because you find that when one component is broken, the system will not run. For example, here we have the drip system, okay? So if the drip line is not working, that means feeding will not happen. But then you need a technician to come and help you do either a replacement or do some repairs. And I think that is the biggest problem that we have. Any other thing, basically, it's just the normal crop care, yeah? And you can also be attacked by diseases if you're not careful. However, in hydroponic system, if you are a careful farmer, it is very hard for you to also get diseases in the greenhouse. The training that we normally do here, basically what we do, our focus is the youth of this country, where we have the 18 to 35. So we do the recruitment, but we've also partnered with other donor organizations that also assist in paying for the tuition for the students to come in and learn here. So here they come for training for 3 months, where they will learn life skills, entrepreneurship, bookkeeping, and then again, the main thing they will learn is now production in the hydroponics. We make sure that our training is 70% practical, so that by the time you are living here, you have enough skills, hands-on experience. We come, we plant with you, we take care of the crop with you all the way to the end. So by month 3, you are already a seasoned hydroponic farmer, and you can go and set up your system. What we do also is that we link our trainees with banking institutions, so that if they want to go and have their own venture, the bank can also give them loan facilities for them to be able to produce.
Now, to wrap up, in terms of hydroponics, let's connect this with the potential of urban farming, especially here in Nairobi. What do you think about the current urban food security system that we have?
In Nairobi, it is very tricky because right now we have very little production that is happening in Nairobi. And we're getting food from as far as Murang'a, Nyeri. So we don't have the actual production here in Nairobi. But if hydroponics was to be adopted, we can have production happening here, which will also ease in our food flows inside Nairobi. And that way we can secure the population in Nairobi from exploitation, even in terms of the prices of the food that we get. Because you can imagine getting food from all the way from Eldoret to Nairobi. By the time it's getting here, to cost you an arm and a leg. And that's why you see, especially in the informal settlements, you find people cannot afford basic things like tomatoes, because already they are too expensive from where they are coming from. Right now in Kenya, we still get even food. Here in Nairobi, we get food from Tanzania. But we can be able to produce our own tomatoes, our own vegetables here in Nairobi. This system is very easy to use. It can be adopted anywhere. By the way, in hydroponics, what we say, you don't actually need land. You just need space, okay? Because you're not using soil anywhere. So if you have space that you can be able to farm, call us and we'll come and show you how to do it, and we'll do the installation plus the training.
Now, listening to our expert today, it's clear that we need to embrace agri-tech in order to solve food security challenges in this country. And that marks the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Elijah Mwangi. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you again next time.